Ladies and gentlemen, babies and elephants, welcome to another new video. My name is Bosley, and today I want to bring for you guys Spectral Shield Throw Gladiator. Yes, this is the biggest hype right now. Everyone out there is trying this build out, and yes, there is a few reasons why. Personally, for me, I just want to join the hype train, and I want to see, because a lot of times in almost every league, a lot of streamers out there, they always wanted to try out this build, and it didn't really seem to work out. So in this league in particular, since a lot of builds got nerfed, I guess this is why this build shines again. So what is the biggest interest that I took on this into this build is because of the amazing survivability of the build. And I would say the build does a decent damage as well, comparing to a lot of tanky builds out there with such a small amount of budget, right? So we're talking about less than 100 C. So how can we get a build like that for less than 100 C? To be honest with you, I can only come up to this point because I really hardly played much recently. So I only got up to Awakener 3, so I haven't got that far yet. I would love to show you more stronger and end game content, but I'm trying to get there. All right, so please bear with me. I can go as far as I could and show you in terms of the showcase, can be shown as far as I can go up to A3 right now. Okay, so let's cut all the nonsense. Let's jump straight into the build. First thing is Ascendancy. So the Ascendancy we'll be talking about is Gladiator. Yes, Gladiator, the first point I would suggest you take Blood in the Eyes. So this one gives you a huge chance of causing bleeding onto the enemy, so they will cause them to take physical damage over time, and will also maim against the bleeding enemies, and also blind them. So blind them meaning allow them not to hit you, so that it gives you more survivability as well. And the enemies that's maimed by you take increased 10% physical damage. And then after that, most importantly, we're going to go for our gratuitous violence. So this one gives you the huge clear speed, right? Because of the explosion. So this allows you to not purchase explodey chest or craft the explodey chest, and you save all the currency for something else, because you can get it on the node right here. And also it gives you 20% more physical damage over time. Hence, they will take more of the bleeding damage. Then after that, you want to move this way for Pain Forge. These are the more defensive sign of the Ascendancy tree. So here you get 8% chance to block attack damage if you were taking a hit recently, which you always do. And you can't be stunned when you by hits if you block. And also your counter attacks deal double damage. The counter attacks part basically doesn't really, we are not focusing on that too much. Basically, it's just another skill gen that you can put in, so it will trigger that skill whenever you counter attack, basically. And last but not least, the most important node in the skill tree that allows us to block most of everything will be chance to block spell damage is equals to chance to block attack damage. So when our shield gives us a huge chunk of block attack damage, and overall all added in, plus the skill trees, and also it will convert in, it will be having the same amount for the block spell damage as well. And also maximum chance to block spell damage is equal to maximum chance to block attack damage. That is the few most important nodes that you want to pick up. So you will go this way and then down, and then this way and then down. Okay? Yeah. So next up, we're going to talk about the gear choices. Now the gear choices here are really quite straightforward. So our damage all will be mainly based on our shield. The shield, we want to try to get as much armor as we can on the shield. So the more armor you have, the more DPS you will do. According to the skill gem here, it says it will throw a spectral copy of your shield, and it will shoot out projectile shards as well to help you clear with the map. So this one is based on 6 to 8 added physical damage per 15 armor on your shield. So the more armor you have, the more physical damage will be added to your DPS. And you'll fire 3 additional projectiles, which is the shards, and then primary projectile will chain 3 times. So it will chain to the enemies just like how Captain America did. So this is the idea behind using this hardcore shield. Don't worry about the image here. This is just a cosmetic MTX. Just like it looks a lot nicer this way with my white themed player skin. So this is the main bread and butter of the build, which is the shield. So I've gone through all the list you can look for in PathOfExile trade, just to know how to search for and just to show you roughly the price figure on each and every item. So as I was telling you about the shield, so as we go to the PathOfExile trade website, you just need to type in Colossal Tower Shield, put in minimum 2000 armor over here, and then you just search, and then the list will pop out. You can get one as cheap as 20 chaos, and then just find one that's suitable to you from here on out. Okay, just find whichever that you're suitable, and you can have the budget. Just buy whichever. Minimum 2k I think will be reasonable to start off with the build. Okay, so it's just 20c for the shield. And then next up, we're going to talk about the helmet. The helmet, I just got this helmet enchant from the labs. So I was lucky enough to get the same one because I'm using Corrupted Fever as well, which I will explain later on in the skill gems. So this one, you just want to have the nearby enemies take 9% increased physical damage. So how do you get that? Same thing, go to PoE trade, and just put in nearby enemies take increased physical damage. And then search, and then you can find one as cheap as 10 chaos, or 20 chaos, or 30 chaos, and so on and so forth. If you don't want to get this node, it's fine. Just try to get more life and resistances if you are short of any of those. Okay. For the weapon, now the weapon, any DPS on the weapon will not affect your spectral shield throw damage, only if damage over time and damage over time multipliers. Other than that, everything else does not matter at all. Okay. So what you want to get for the weapon? Here, what you want to search for, just type in one-handed weapon. It's easier if you use a sword or a shield, a sword, a mace, or a one-handed axe. And just type in increase physical damage over time. And then you search, and you can find one as cheap as 1 chaos, 1 chaos. But the only thing you have to make sure is do you have, when you buy one, make sure you have one empty suffix slot. So each rare item, you can have 3 prefix and 3 suffix. So make sure you have one empty suffix slot. So this one, obviously, this one only have 3 prefix and 1 suffix. So there's 2 extra slots, so you can craft something on it. Why? Because we want to craft the most important thing, the physical damage over time multiplier from the crafting bench. So you just go to your crafting bench over here, and then just type damage over time multiplier, which is this one. For weapons, one-handed melee, you can get up to 20%. Oh, I just upgraded this one. I'm going to probably upgrade this one as well. So I'm just going to put 18 to 20%. Oh, yep, the skill gems are just here. Sorry, I'm just going to show you how. Damage over time multiplier, replace, get 20%. There you go. More damage boost, right? Okay, so that's how you get the weapon. For the armor, nothing too fancy. Just get life and resist. And make sure you have another empty prefix slot that you can craft avoid elemental ailments. So we have 100% avoidance on stun, ignite, chill, freeze, and shock. So this gives us a huge boost on our defensive players. Not only with the spell block and attack block, we also have avoidance as well. So it gives us a lot of survivability. Okay, so make sure you have an empty prefix slot. You have to make sure you have 100%, not 99%, not 98%, not 97%, but 100%. Because that 1% will make a world of difference. Because that 1%, you will still get a chance to get hit by shock or stun and stuff like that. But if you have 100%, you are good, you're golden. Okay? So make sure you have an empty prefix slot that you can craft on avoid elements. Everything else, it's subjective to you. For the amulet here, so the amulet, you just want to get the physical damage over time multiplier. Very simple. Go to PoE trade, just type in amulet, physical damage over time multiplier, and search. You can get one as cheap as 1 chaos. And again, all the stats here is according to you need more life, more resist, just to cap whatever that you're short of. The rings here, Vermilion rings is the one I want to get because I get more life out of it. You can use any other rings, but here the rings is where you want to cap your other res and also try to cap your chaos res as well. So try to look for rings that has chaos res. So at the moment now I have 5% chaos res, so I'm not in the negative zone, so that I can survive most of the chaos damage as well. So make sure you're trying to get the rings with Vermilion rings. If you want to get Vermilion rings with Chaos Rares as well, I'm pretty sure the rings you can get for less than 10C or 20C, something like that for per ring. So it's like 20 to 40C, but it's just subjective. If you get 100C, less than 100C is according to everything that I'm wearing right here. Okay. Except for the belt. The belt, this one, I had it from my other characters, so you do not need to get a belt like this. If you're going to get a belt like this, it's going to cost you a lot more. It's going to cost you about 60C to a Exalt. But you can get just something like this, some tier 1 life and resist for a lot less. Maybe probably you can get it for like 10 chaos or something like that. So this is just an option, just the quality of life. And you want to get the gauntlets, the weapon, sorry, the gloves. So the gloves, the most important thing here, we want to get socketed gems deal 30% more damage over time. So this one is the reason why we put Corrupting Fever into this slot. So how do you get the socketed gems deal 30% more damage over time? You need to get the essence called the Essence of Delirium. So once you get the Essence of Delirium, you can pretty much take any glove you have and just craft it on the glove and then see what else do you get. That's a bonus to whatever you have, and then if you can, craft on projectiles, pierce, and additional targets so that you can pierce while you shoot the shields. And the boots will be, most importantly, getting the bleeding you inflict deals 10% faster, and also you want to make sure you have an empty suffix to craft the chance to avoid elemental ailments as well. So avoid elemental ailments will be on the boots and on the armor, 2 parts. Okay, so make sure you get the bleeding inflict. It's over here. I think I had a search right here as well. No, I don't, but just pretty much search for bleeding you inflict, and then you can find one, and then hopefully you get one with move speed as well. But if you don't want the bleeding inflict, it's fine. Just get anything with move speed, life, and resist, and also make sure empty suffix so you can craft the avoid ailments on your boots, so you can get 100% avoid ailments. That is the gears. Next up, we're going to talk about the skill gems. The skill gems will be Spectral SST with Maim, Swift Affliction, Unbound Ailments. You can just use the normal one. You don't have to use the Awakened one. Vicious Projectiles and Brutality. From the weapons, we're using Pride with Arrogance, so it will increase our aura effect because we're only running 1 aura, which is Pride. Portal Gem, because I don't like to carry Portal Scrolls. Our mobility will be Shield Charge, Faster Attacks, Ancestral Protector, and Fortify. Leap Slam will be for us to jump over cliffs, because Shield Slam, you can't go over cliffs and borders. CWDT with Molten Shell, and make sure it's Val Molten Shell. You can trigger the Val skill as well to give you a huge chunk of defensive layer as well. Because we have so much armor, we have like almost like 15k armor, so the Molten Shell does a really good job giving us a huge buff to take a lot more damage. On the gloves, the Corrupting Fever with Brutality, Efficacy, and Swift Affliction. And on the boots will be Hex Touch with Temper Shield, Vulnerability, and Cast when damage taken. So cast when damage taken, we would trigger Temper Shield. So Temper Shield will do the Hex Touch and it will cast Vulnerability on the enemies. So that is the skill gems. Next, we're going to talk about the Flask. Life Flask, Bleeding, Corrupted Blood. The good thing is, since we have 100% avoidance, you don't need much utilities on the Flask, especially like Chill, Ignite, and all that. You don't have to worry about all that. So you want to get Sulfur Flask, so we get increased attack speed, you get move speed, you get Granite Flask for armor and increased armor, and you get Silver Flask for the onslaught, so you can throw your shield a lot faster. And that is the Flask choices. The Pantheons will be, the Pantheons will be, mapping will be Lunaris, bossing will be Solaris, and for the Minor God, you want to use Groctol. So Groctol gives you additional physical damage reduction for each hit you take in, up to 5%. And if you can, get the second layer as well. For the Bandits, you want to kill all the Bandits and get 2 extra skill points from Aramir, so that you can invest more on your skill points on your skill tree, because you don't need all the other nodes from the other Bandits. And last but not least, the skill tree. Now, the skill tree here, we're going to start off as a Duelist. So you want to move down here and pick up Art of the Gladiator, and then after that Bravery, and then Master of the Arena. And then after that, you'll move down to Defiance to get more defense from the shield and block attack damage. And then move down here and get Golan's Blood. And then after that, Dirty Techniques for the damage over time multiplier and inflict faster bleeding. And then you want to move down here and pick up these two huge nodes here. Testudo for block attack damage and Retaliation for defensive and attack speed as well. And then you're going to move this way. This is where we get all our avoidance. So we have Crystal Skin, Lightning, Chill, Ignite, and Status Ailments. So this one gives us, so this is like 5, 5, 5, 5%, 10%, 30%, 30%, 10%, 25%, and then here's another 4 plus 4, 8%, 33%. Yeah. And then after that, thick skin over here for life and avoid ailments. Wind Dancer, so we will have we don't get easily one-shotted in case we do. And then move to the left, pick up Bloodletting. And then after that, Crimson Dance for the bleeding. So it doesn't matter whether they're moving when they're bleeding. We want to inflict the stacks, so we can stack them 8 times to inflict the bleeding even more. And then move down here and pick up Bloodlust for life, and enemy can't leech life from you. So we're going to use Blood Magic and Mortal Conviction. So this will bypass our problem with the mana, so we don't need to worry about mana at all, because we are using our life to pay for the mana cost, and you can only run 1 aura, and you reserve that 1 aura will be free. So we're running only Pride, so we're using Mortal Conviction, so there will be no reservation whatsoever. And down here we'll pick up Aggressive Bastion, so this one gives us, again, block attack damage, which boosts up our block, and also some damage while holding a shield and gain endurance charge while holding a shield. That's where we get our endurance charges. This is the anointment that we're getting, cleaving. This is not very expensive. You can get one for an Ember, Sepia, and the Black Oil. So it's very cheap oils. And most importantly, even though you're not using an axe, it's okay. Most importantly, you want to get the bleeding you inflict 15% faster. That's the most important thing you want to get from here, which gives us a lot of DPS boost. And then up here, we want to get Barbarism. So this one gives us life. Resolute Technique, so we don't have to worry about missing our hits. So we don't do crit strikes anyway, so it doesn't matter. And then you can move over here, Solidity, so for resistances and block attack damage. Here, Warrior's Blood for life regen, Heart of Warrior for life, and Born to Fight for some DPS and attack speed. Up here, Vanquisher, so this one will crush the enemies when they're full life and increase physical damage. Here I'm just using Jewel. This one I corrupted it myself, I was lucky. So this one gives me some resist and some life. You can just try to get anything that has corrupted blood. Here you'll get Constitution and then Path of the Warrior, and then after that you're going to pick up lastly Veteran Soldier and Relentless. So you don't have to worry about any cluster jewels. All this is in the skill tree itself. Yep, that's about it. Pretty straightforward, nothing too fancy. Very basic, but yet very, very good. He has been bringing me and carrying me through the end game, and it is doing a very good job. And I would hardly die, very hardly. I would say I never die, but I hardly die, which is a very enjoyable experience. Especially now, the content is a lot more harder than before with all the nerfs going on and so on and so forth. Pros and cons. I think this is really, really tanky. I think the DPS is really decent for the amount of investment that you put in, and it's very, very straightforward and simple to play. The only problem I find with the build is the clunkiness of shooting one shield. If you don't hit the shield, it's not gonna hit, and the DPS will not move. All right, so you have to make sure you aim where you shoot in order to put out all the DPS that you can. Other than that, everything else, I think it's good. Yeah, that's all I have for you today. I hope that you guys enjoyed the build guide. I do mostly budget builds, and I do build guides almost every week. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you guys have any comments, please drop your comments down below as well. If you like my video, please like and subscribe and support my channel. It will give us a lot of confidence and motivation to put out more content for you guys. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your week. I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace out.